Good evening and welcome to Late Night Review, where we talk about what's happening
and what's not.
I'm Ethan Dennis.
I'm Kaylee Law.
And we are here to talk to you about tonight's top stories. In today's installment of A White Guy Severely Misunderstands What Actual Oppression Is, Terry Rossi, the screenwriter behind Shrek and Pirates of the Caribbean, expressed sorrow on Twitter over the, quote, vitriol faced by those who don't vaccinate their kids, comparing calling someone anti-vax to calling them the N-word. Now, you're probably expecting to make the classic and obvious and done-before joke, as I should be, about how if we're only saying one of the words and not the other, then the one that we're not saying is the worst word. But I would like to clarify that I'm only saying one of those when paraphrasing that. Rossio, keep in mind, is the genius who began 2 unkillable franchises. So he proved himself against that argument by typing out and using the actual full N-word in his tweet. But what I think we're not acknowledging here is that it only acknowledges the names and words that we call anti-vax parents, and not what we call the kids who themselves don't get vaccinated, like dead.
This past Tuesday, President Trump granted clemency to the 39-pound bird named Peas and his brother Carrots as part of the White House's tradition of pardoning select turkeys every Thanksgiving. Moving forward, the siblings have been separated, detained in refugee settlements, and will be representing themselves in court come Thursday.
A white man in Minnesota was arrested for displaying a gun during an argument with a group of black teenagers at a McDonald's after he wrongly suggested that they were using welfare assistance to pay for their food. When asked for comment, the teenagers said, "Yeah, that was pretty racist and frightening and offensive, but we're relieved you didn't do something more discriminatory, like call us anti-vax."
Protesters across Ireland have taken to the streets with thongs in hand after a man was acquitted of rape during a trial in which his defense attorney, Elizabeth O'Connell, cited the underwear worn by his 17-year-old accuser as evidence of consent, stating in her closing argument, "You have to look at the way she was dressed. She was wearing a thong with a lace front." While we can all agree that what O'Connell said was disgusting, misogynistic, and directly contributed to an objective injustice, her words may have some salt. An image of O'Connell, for example, lets you infer all you need to know about her. A pig snout nose, soulless eyes, and a forehead big enough to advertise its clearly vacant unit.
Rumors are now swirling around that former First Lady and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is considering yet another run for president in 2020. Sources close to Clinton say that she saw a recent movie trailer online and decided that she could finally win over those last votes she needs by updating her appeal to young people from the classic "We need young people to Pokemon Go to the polls" to "Young people, Detective Pikachu's me for president."
Television personality Jerry Springer will star in Judge Jerry, a syndicated court program in which he will sit on the bench and settle disputes in a courtroom setting, then, quote, render a verdict with a fair yet firm hand, leaving litigants with a dose of classic Springer wisdom. Because there's nothing as classic as taking something a woman did first, better, and making it your own. Yes.
Amazon announced earlier this month that their search for a new headquarters city has come to an end, as they now have announced plans to build 2 new headquarters in both Virginia and New York.
The news came as a letdown to a number of cities across the country that had been vying for Amazon's attention, including Austin. Here, with his take on the situation, is the guy who thinks he can just walk up to you on the street and be a part of your band.
Hey, thank you so much for having. You guys rock. You guys are the best. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, no, I mean you guys. Like I have all of your albums, but I love the new stuff and the old stuff. You guys are. You're the best.
Okay. Well, what can you tell us about the new Amazon headquarters?
Right. Well, I gotta come clean. I didn't just come for an autograph. I heard you guys fighting out back in the green room the other day after the show. I was with my boy Dougie, and you know it sounded like things were pretty rough in there. Anyway, I heard Keith quit, and I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I know how important he was to the band. Well,
wait, let me stop. Who is Keith?
Anyway, so I just wanted to say, well, with the Battle of the Bands coming up next week, and you know, you guys suddenly needing a new lead singer and everything,
Okay, actually, TJ, we were hoping that you could tell us a bit more about the local reception of Amazon's.
Man turned 88. He won the lottery, and died the next day.
Buddy.
Sorry, one second. It's a black fly, and you're a Chardonnay. It's a death row pardon, 2 minutes too late. And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain!
TJ, honey, sweetheart, no.
Sorry, I am so
don't do
sorry.
that.
I just need 1 minute. Ah! It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Can I finish asking you the question?
Of course, I am so
Okay,
sorry.
great. So what we were hoping is that you could tell us more about the reception of the new Amazon headquarters among Austinites, because you see, Austin wasn't
it's
exactly.
a free ride that you just didn't take.
TJ!
Sorry. Okay. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I get it. It's just that a lot of people
It's the
thought
good
that.
advice that you just didn't take, and who would have thought it figures? Oh.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're recording the show live, so if you don't have anything to say about Amazon, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
You guys want to record already? Oh my God, I wasn't really ready for the. I have a few original songs. We'll just pick up where we were. Fellas, just follow me. 1, 2, 3. It's like rain on your wedding day.
The guy who thinks he can just walk up to the street and drive your band.
Facebook found itself in hot water with the public once again as we found out that the company was paying private firms millions of dollars for some highly suspicious opposition research. We here at LNR were able to obtain the findings of this opposition research, and well, the data tells a pretty clear story. Erica Albright from Boston University still doesn't want to be Facebook friends with Mark Zuckerberg.
Europe is experiencing a record outbreak of measles, a disease that has been vaccine preventable since 1963. Before the MMR vaccine, the World Health Organization estimated at least 2.6 million people died of the disease annually. Now, after near eradication of the virus, the toll is on the rise once more, with 33,000 recorded cases of measles in the EU since 2016, nearly half of which centered in Romania. When asked to comment, the nation stated collectively, "It's not the worst thing that's happened to us, but it's not great."
Lastly, a Texas A&M student was recently arrested for being caught with over 100 doses of LSD in his dorm room. We reached out to the student for comment, and he told us, "Man, with all those drugs, I was able to hallucinate things like rainbow dragons and invisible demons, but even then, I still couldn't see the Aggies winning a championship or literally anything fun to do in College Station."
A dead sperm whale found in Indonesia had at least 13 pounds of garbage in its stomach, according to the Worldwide Fund for Nature, and we know this is not an isolated incident. It seems like every day we further harm our ecosystem and the animals that inhabit it due to an increasing stagnation of trash that we don't need and can't get rid of. Specific items disinterred from the carcass include 115 plastic cups, 2 sandals, 7 pounds of rope, and Ted Cruz's entire political career.
Following the Democrats' takeover of the House earlier this month, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell penned an op-ed urging bipartisanship for the new Congress, pleading with Democrats not to be meaninglessly obstructionist. Following the publication of this op-ed, somewhere, deep beneath the cellar underneath Lindsey Graham's office, Judge Merrick Garland awoke from his 2-year coma, kicked the door open, and yelled, "Are they finally having my confirmation hearing now?"
And lastly, Japanese cybersecurity minister Yoshitaka Sakurada has caused great upset recently after revealing to the press that he has never used a computer, period. Sakurada has attributed this to simply never needing one, having secretaries and employees to dictate his words since he was 25 in 1975. To put that in perspective, Sakurada hasn't written a single note for himself, not only since the PC was invented, but also since the arrest of SLA hostage Patty Hearst, the end of the Vietnam War, and the television debut that inspired the hot garbage you're watching right now. For Late Night Review, I'm Kaylee Law.
And I'm Ethan Dennis.
Good
night.